Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this particular video, I am explaining on the concept of repetition in Python programming language and will be knowing regarding loop control variable, different types of loop constructs in Python programming language. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video link with your friends and family members, share the video links in various social networks which you are going to use, gain the knowledge and rule the world. Happy learning. Repetition. Often we repeat a task. For example, the payment of an electricity bill, which we will be doing in every month. That means we will be repeating the process of paying the electricity bill every month. So this kind of repetition is called as an iteration. So other few examples might be paying the telephone bill, paying the water bill every month. This is also an example of an iteration. And in case of mathematical problems such as finding the factorial of a number, finding the nth Fibonacci number, or to display the first n Fibonacci numbers. Another example might be to display your name n number of times, to display sum of first n natural numbers, to display first n numbers, that is a natural numbers, to display even numbers among first n natural numbers, to display odd numbers among first n natural numbers, and finding the sum of the digit and finding whether the given number is an palindrome. So these are all the cases where we will be repeating a task. So these kind of repetitions is called as an iteration. The repetition of a set of statements in a program is made possible using looping constructs. Looping constructs provides the facility to execute a set of statements in an program repetitively based on a condition. In a Python programming language and in the other programming languages also, there are looping constructs which will provide the facility to execute a set of statements in a program repetitively based on a condition. And the statements in a loop are executed again and again as particular condition remains true. The statements which are going to write in a loop are executed again and again as long as the particular logical condition remains true. The condition is checked based on the value of a variable. The condition is checked based on the value of a variable, and that particular variable is called as an loops control variable. That means this variable will be controlling how many times the loop has to be executed again and again. When the condition becomes false, the loop terminates. If it is true, it executes, again it checks the condition. If it is true, again it executes. So this will be performing repeatedly again and again when the loops control variable, when it is checked with the condition, if it is true, it will be executing. When the condition becomes false, the loop terminates. As I told, we'll be writing a number of statements in a loop, and all those statements are executed again and again. So here when we write the statements, it is the responsibility of the programmer, that means one who writes the program, to ensure that this condition eventually does become false, so that there is an exit condition and it does not become an infinite loop. Since first it will be checking the condition, based on the control variable. If the condition is true, it executes the loop. Again, it checks the condition. Again, if it is true, it executes the statement. This process is repeated. This process is repeated again and again until the condition is true. So, it is the responsibility of a programmer to ensure that there should be a certain condition eventually does become false. That means you need to write certain statement in a loop or in the looping conditions such that that condition has to become false. If the condition does not become false, then what happens? The loop will be executing again and again iteratively infinite number of times. That means the loop will become infinite loop, and the programmer should not make a loop to be an infinite loop. For that purpose, they need to write a program to ensure that the condition eventually does become the false, so that there is an exit condition to come out of the loop. So once the condition becomes false, it comes out of the loop and it will be executing the statements followed by the loop. In a Python programming language, there are two looping constructs, and those are for loop and while loop. So the for loop will be executing the statement inside the loop again and again until the condition becomes false. Even the while loop will also be executing the statements again and again inside the loop until the condition is true. Once the condition becomes false, it comes out of the loop. And the for loop can be written in two ways. One is by using a range function, another one is by using an sequence and by considering a data items of the type string also, which we will be studying in detail when we go inside the looping constructs. That means when we learn the looping constructs of for and while, then in depth we will be learning regarding these different types of loops in detail. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video link with your friends and family members, share the video link in various social networks which you are going to use. Gain the knowledge and rule the world. Happy learning.